Oi.
Oh, yoy, brother. Hey,
Let's get closer.
All right. Hey, we're making it work today.
We are. Have we got a show for you?
Got a show for you.
Because we do.
You ever thought about, like, what if we used, like, Gen Z slang, but with, like, names of people that are, like, really, really old? Work it, Bethesda. Serve it,
like,
Myrtle. Come on, Bertha. You better work that.
Rita.
Serve, Rita.
Roll out, Rita. You better get it, Glinda.
The best one.
Those are both my grandmother's names.
Dude, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's been a chaotic morning.
Period.
Very chaotic. Like,
Period.
I have had zero time to, like,
Same.
Literally reply to anything. I've had so many people coming at me from every different angle, and I'm like,
You know what's so funny? I thought about this morning because I was like prepping to come over here, and I was like, and we're doing this filming. We've got like a special guest for y'all, a couple special guests for y'all this episode.
Exciting.
Like, this is a cool show today. Our first guest ever
tonight.
I was thinking about this morning. I was like, I'm in a particularly crazy week. This is the last like little bit of January that we're filming this, and into February is the week that we film this. You have a crazy week.
It was supposed to be a chill week, and then today, since all the storms, it caused it to be crazy.
Right.
And everyone and their mom's calling me all the day long. So this episode's all about famous duos. Oh,
Okay.
I'm excited for this.
Okay, so in the spirit of famous duos this episode, we're going to tag ourselves as famous duos. That's the plan. So I pulled up this BuzzFeed article, and basically, what I think that our parameters should be is like both of us know who that is, or at least we know enough to be able to
I have an idea.
Okay, hit me.
Is this a game? Could we make it a game?
Let's make it a game.
How about we go through the list of these famous duos, and at the same time we say who we are.
Okay.
And we have to say, so at the same time though, we go 1, 2, 3, and then we say boop. Who we are of the two.
So first and foremost, classic, we have Marlin and Dory.
From Finding Nemo.
So
okay,
we'll
who
count
do
to
we
3.
think that we are of the two?
All right.
On 3.
1, 2, 3.
Dory.
Marlin.
I relate very spiritually with Dory.
I love Dory.
Dory is like, if a sloth wasn't already my spirit animal, Dory would be my essence.
And Marlin
Dory would be my brother bear.
Yeah.
You know?
That's cute.
My brother bear thing.
Oh,
She would be my brother bear.
Yeah, Marlin is neurotic, anxious, very detail oriented, terrified
Dory's
of the world.
just going with it. Dory's just rolling with the flow, and she forgets a lot.
I think this might be the one that is like the most us. So
I
we'll see at
agree.
the end.
We'll
at the
see,
end.
but
all right,
this is-
next. Oh, classic. Next. All
Okay.
right, we got SpongeBob and Patrick. Let's see.
Oh gosh.
Let's see.
Okay.
All right, let me think for a second. Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3.
SpongeBob.
Patrick. Yes, we did that.
I'm annoying.
I'm like the dumb comedic relief sometimes.
You know?
She said, "I'm annoying." That's so
I
slay
am.
of you.
And like I talk a lot, and people are like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
I relate to Patrick in that he's kind of just vibe. It's you talk about like, I contain multitudes by Walt Whitman. Can I simultaneously be Marlin from Finding Nemo and also Patrick from SpongeBob? We contain multitudes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I just relate to his silver lining outlook and his I don't know. You know what I mean?
I love SpongeBob for you. Totally.
That makes
But
sense.
also, you're like, I don't know. I think between SpongeBob and Patrick, SpongeBob's like the creative one, if you think about it. And I think both of us are creative, but in terms of like true creativity, that's you.
I was thinking more just like essence of personality.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like SpongeBob walks in sometimes and you're either like SpongeBob or you're like SpongeBob.
Are you familiar with Rick and Morty?
I've watched a couple of episodes. I'm not crazy familiar with their their vibes. Well, I know not really, but I do know that Rick and Morty is kind of canceled right now.
Oh, is it?
Do you hear?
No, what happened?
The voice actor.
Dan Harmon, he's like gross.
He's a gross
man. So we'll
man.
skip Rick and Morty in this. All right.
Oh,
We've got
ready.
We've got the classic Shrunky, Shrek and Donkey.
From Shrek.
From
1,
Shrek.
2, and 3.
Wait, I'm not ready. Hang on. Ooh, am I a Shrek or am I a donkey? Damn, what am I? All right, I'll just wing it. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, Shrek.
Wait, no, I meant to say donkey. I am donkey.
Well, then perfect. Okay, so we're Shrek, I'm Shrek, and she's Donkey.
Done.
That was easy.
I am Donkey.
I don't really
Shrek
feel like...
is too angry about everything for no reason.
I am angry about a lot of things.
But not for no reason.
But not for no reason, that's true. Yeah, that kind of works out for us.
Bonnie and Clyde. Okay, well, let's just take the stereotype of Bonnie and Clyde between the two of us.
Well, it gets... Okay, so what is the difference between Bonnie and
They
Clyde?
both just are killers.
They're both, like,
They're
outlaws.
They're outlaws, but... One's just a boy, one's a girl.
And so anytime...
So it's going to be obvious.
Anytime that if it... That's the thing. I looked at this list ahead of time, and some of them were just boy and girl, and I'm like, well, duh, I'm going to be the boy one.
For sure.
Like, have you ever watched Family Guy? I feel like this would be a fun one if you're familiar.
I think I am, but we're going to see.
You want to try it?
Let's just try it.
All right.
Okay, so between Brian and Stewie.
Brian and Stewie from Family Guy. I think...
We're going to say... okay... Brian's the dog, right?
Brian's the dog.
And Stewie's the baby.
Stewie's the baby, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all right, ready?
1, 2, 3.
Stewie.
Dog. I forgot immediately. The
I'm
dog.
Stewie.
Is that accurate?
I would say so. Stewie's, well, Brian, I would say, is like a normal guy, but he's a dog. Like, he's just normal. Stewie's like kind of an evil mastermind, possibly gay, so definitely that's me.
Yeah, I know Stewie's like a mastermind, like little baby, unsuspecting, like Perry the Platypus.
Yeah, his whole thing is that he's planning to kill his mom. That's not the case for me.
That's a big jump.
Yeah, I don't know about Zelda.
You love your mom.
I love my mom. Yeah, I'm not going to kill her.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay.
So what about for this one? You tag us, because I don't know what I would be. So this one is Frodo Baggins and Samwise Gamgee.
Oh my gosh.
Frodo and Samwise from Lord of the Rings.
This one's hard. I'll say it first and then I'll explain.
Cool.
So, I think that I am Sam and you are Frodo.
Cool.
Sam is like this, like, very, like, loyal, not that you're not, but very, like, loyal, go with the flow, scared of things kind of person. And Frodo is like, he sees so much more for himself and he's like going for it. And also Sam and him are best friends. Aww. And they're both like have really great qualities about each other. Do you know what I'm saying? But
Totally.
I think that in this like dynamic, Sam's along for the ride and Frodo's like, let's freaking go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
That's kind of how this podcast vibe is. Like I've got all these big dreams for this.
The problem, it's not a problem. The difference is that you have a lot of really big aspirations for how this is going to go. And I intentionally do not give myself expectations for anything.
Dude,
because I get disappointed.
Like that. Totally.
And that's just based on being in the industry for a long time and knowing, like, I have to get told no so much. Totally. I have made myself ready for anything. Because
that's a great
then
tip,
I have
Abby.
I'm not upset ever. And that's the name of the game when it comes to like acting. Like I'm always getting told no.
Totally.
I'm always saying like, oh, you almost had it, but now this isn't. Oh, we needed you this day and now we don't need you. We aren't going to have you this day. Oh, well, actually, no, we're not doing that anymore. Like, sorry, throw that out the window. And like, so you get really excited because they're big excitements. But there's sometimes it can be a big excitement leads to a very big fall.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah. Yep. And so I've just been like, you know what? You tell me this, but until I'm on set, I'm not going to believe you.
This is, the only reason I'm laughing right now is because our energy today is just so, like, bonkers. I can't wait for y'all to...
And the fact you can hear my phone, like, blowing up behind me, I'm like...
Which is fine. But I love that you said, Sam is, like, really loyal. Not that you're not. Your qualifiers are so funny. You were like, the problem... It's not actually a problem, though.
I just say things and I realize that's not the best word. I should have used a different
adjective. Oh my God,
adjective.
I didn't even think twice. I appreciate the qualifier, but I didn't even think twice.
That's so funny.
All right, let's see. So I don't know any of these.
Don't know him.
And if we think
let's do...
Lucy, I don't really know Lucy and Ricky.
I love
they're just
Lucy.
lovers.
Lucy, we should have done like Lucy and her best friend.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
They didn't.
So it's okay.
They didn't. Do you think people are going to write fanfic of us one day if we ever blow up? Wouldn't that be a nightmare to read?
Well, actually, it would be a nightmare because they'd probably turn it like sexual.
Oh, would they? And then it would be
like like you like it.
It's gonna be horrifying, dude. And we should read it out loud on the pod.
It's like, well, like TMG, Noelle and Cody, they have had fanfics written about them and they've read it.
And they've read them.
And so,
which I think is just a beautiful test of friendship.
No, it is, and it's also like a beautiful connection for the audience to know that you can do whatever, and we're gonna read and see
vibing.
everything.
We encourage the parasocial friendships.
you know, if anything, it's just like we are very here for your imagination and creativity.
Are we?
We love you. Be like, wow, it's like when a little kid comes to you and they're like, I'm gonna blow a balloon so big with my bubble gum and I'm gonna fly to the outer space and I'm gonna land on the moon.
Yes.
And you're like,
that is the exact
"Oh."
equivalent. Yeah, so we're not afraid of y'all shipping us. We figured that would Woody and Buzz, that's cute. Okay, so I am only semi-familiar with Toy Story. I haven't watched it in years, so I would like for you to call this one again.
I am Woody. You are Buzz.
Aww.
Because Buzz, again, has a mission. And he is trying his hardest. And Woody is just a little southern guy, just trying to keep his town together.
And just trying to do good. Just trying to do right by people.
And you're trying to save the world.
Yeah, I'm busy
and
over here,
and Woody's like, listen, I'm just trying to manage this toy box.
That's really cute.
But then Buzz, they realize how much they really need each other, and they help each other run the show.
That's cute.
It really is cutie.
That's cute. You familiar with Star Trek?
Mm-hmm.
You want to take this
yes,
one?
okay. Captain
My dad
Kirk
loves this show. He would be
Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock.
Oh, what a duo.
Oh, frick, dude. You could take this so many ways.
Yeah, because this one, there's like also negatives to like they clash a bit too.
Well, they do, but it creates their friendship.
It does.
In the long term. Like, they hate each other. But they have to put up with each other because they have to work together.
I don't think we've ever even once not liked each other.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, so we do not apply to that area.
Yeah.
But I think...
Okay. You got to be Kirk and I got to be Spock, right? Because
I was thinking like Spock is an alien man who is incredibly smart. He's like a level of subhuman species, not subhuman, whatever different human species that's incredibly smart and like
he's very like calculated,
analytical. Not emotion. He's very non-emotional, which isn't applicable to either of us. But he is very like simple, but so deep with like the bounds of his mind.
Yeah.
And then Captain Kirk is just this like super,
he's the guy.
like he's like this like spearhead, confident, like human man that Mr. Spock is like, you idiot. but Captain Kirk makes some really, really great decisions that pulls some really, really great decisions that pull the team where they need to be. Like, he is a good leader and he has the drive. He doesn't necessarily calculate as much as Mr. Spock does.
Right.
I mean, Mr. Spock, but he's all in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They seem like a great duo.
They're both all in on every choice that they make. They're both stubborn on their own choices, but they end up realizing how much they need each other and that they like really, really love each other. So there's just a lot. It's a very great story.
I was going to see if we were about
Trek.
to get a Marie cameo, see if she would jump up here. But
she might.
Trying to get a cat to do anything you want it to do is
Without
like shouting into the void. Like,
for sure.
I saw this TikTok this morning where this girl was like, here's how I try to get my cat to come on my lap. And she was like, it was like 8 minutes of her just, that was the whole TikTok.
I could do it.
Let's see if we can get her. Come here. Come say hi. Look. You are the most beautiful cat of all time. What's she, ragdoll? Siamese?
She's a Balinese, which is a long-haired Siamese.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I got you.
Just
I hold.
hold her for a second.
We gotta get y'all a little Marie cameo. Oh, look at that pretty face.
Hey.
She said, actually, I don't want to be on camera. Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful girl.
Say no.
All right.
Hey.
Do you like
I just wanted to
Friends?
say hi.
Have you ever watched Friends?
Yes.
I've seen some episodes of it. They want us to tag ourselves
Joey.
as Joey and Chandler.
Joey and Chandler. Okay.
They're like a goober duo, aren't they?
No, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I know.
Let's go.
I know.
Buddy.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Joey.
Chandler.
I don't know.
Wait,
Oh,
hold
I
on, wait,
switched
look
it,
at it. Hold on. Wait,
I'm
just
not
kidding.
actually that familiar with
Wait,
this.
I think that I am Chandler.
Okay.
And I think that you are Joey. Is that what you said, Joey?
I said Joey because I just said
Joey
something
is like
to play along.
Joey. Well, I have aspects of myself in Joey that I think that are myself because Joey wants to be an actor, but Joey also is so full of himself that it adds that dynamic of like, ugh, like Joey, get over yourself.
I am pretty full of myself.
But
I gotta say though, I am.
Chandler, he's like this, like the guy next door that's just like, but he's also like really witty and like kind of like mean.
Like roasty?
Yeah, but they're both roasty and they both roast each other all the time. And it's just like a tit for tat all the time.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Scooby and Shaggy from
Okay.
the Scooby-Doo. All right, let's see. Oh, this one I really got to think on. Okay, all right. 1, 2, 3, Shaggy. We are like 15 for 0 with
Yeah, I
these at this
know.
point.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, this is this is a really wild little duo, but I think if there's ever going to be an animal involved in a duo, I think that probably is going to be your vibe more.
Yeah.
And I just think I don't know what exactly it is because they're so similar.
Yeah,
Scooby and Shaggy, truly.
they're cut from the same cloth, but they're different species, and
Right.
they both have deep loves for the same things. But I think Scooby is sometimes smarter than Shaggy.
Definitely.
But not that
like
is applicable. It's more just that like that's their dynamic. Is that there are times where I think they're both equally the same smartness. It's at different times that one realizes that one's doing something that they shouldn't at the same time.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And it's usually when it's like food is involved, like you didn't eat that, did you? Like
Yeah.
And then he's like, Raggy?
I was literally going to say, I agree with you that sometimes Scooby is smarter than Shaggy in that, like, they balance each other.
They balance each other. But it's a different, because there are also other times where Shaggy's like, Scoob?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Scoob?
Totally. Because Scooby, at the end of the day, is also
He's
a dog. But I think what you said about how they are cut from the same cloth, but they are different species.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a better way to describe the two of us?
Be the same
Me and
species.
Abby, though, we are the same species. Sometimes I feel like we are different species than everyone else because, like, I feel like we might be space aliens, like, masquerading in human bodies sometimes, like, in a fun way. Because I just feel like we see the world very similarly in the way that we treat people. What are you doing that
The
for?
peanut butter baby.
That's what I thought, yeah. I love peanut butter baby.
I know.
Does that feel good? That's the only affirmative we'll ever use forever. Anyway.
That's also one of the little kids I used to nanny. That's how she would say yes. She'd just go,
That's
You want that?
adorable. Hey, one more. We
And I'm
call
like,
that clear,
all right.
effective communication. Before we do
Gets
this
them.
one, let's do Tom and Jerry. Oh. But that one's
rough. That
one
one's
is
even
rough.
worse than Shaggy and Scooby.
that one's like because they legitimately hate each other.
Yeah.
Tom is the cat. And Tom is like the one that's always getting done over.
I never remember which one is which.
It's honestly, same. Jerry's the mouse. I'm pretty sure. Yes.
Okay.
Jerry's the mouse because Tom's Tomcat.
Cat.
Same brain
on
cell.
it.
We
We're
puff
on it.
past the same brain cell. Anyway.
I actually ate it.
I gotta tighten this.
Gotta keep it tight.
Me every day trying to keep it tight.
Yeah.
So, Jerry's more of the mastermind, right? So he's the small
Jerry's
mighty.
the mouse.
Tom
yes,
is the cat.
They instigate each other all the time.
Yes.
But they're never clever enough to actually get each other until they get the chance to.
Right.
And then they say, oh, wait,
Do you think because
I don't want to do that because it takes the fun out of it.
That's true. Do you think because I typically pull pranks on you more often, I would be Jerry for that reason? That kind of makes sense in my mind.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But I feel like that implies, though,
I think they
that
both mess with each other very equally, though. It's weird.
I don't have any
quirky.
emotional tie.
It's
to it.
weird.
It's quirky and goofy.
It's quirky and goofy and
Do you
meow.
Straight to Stan
Okay,
Twitter.
so with no Stan involved,
Romeo and Juliet.
let's outline their personality traits.
Let's talk about this.
Romeo,
Both of
helpless
them-
romantic.
Yes.
Blinded by love.
Fully.
Fully in.
Yep.
Both are fully in, but I think that
I think Juliet comes at it with more logic, frankly. Like, she approaches it with, like, realism. Whereas Romeo is just all in. But needless to say, the way it ends, spoiler, no logic involved.
I think it was Romeo who was like, here's the plan. This is what we're gonna do.
Right.
My cousin's gonna marry us, and we're gonna do all these things,
Right.
and then we're gonna do this, and then whose idea was it to make her sleep?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I don't know.
Because this is where the logic fell, is that she decided to agree to fake her death and did not decide to tell him. And that's where the bag was fumbled. She was like, I'm so smart. I'm going to just kill myself off real quick and then go and live with the love of my life.
And
then
surely he'll be in on the plan.
He's already in on it. And then he goes and kills himself there. And okay, he goes and snaps his twig there.
Yep.
We can't say that. Like, he goes and
he goes and kicks the bucket.
He goes and kicks his own bucket.
Correct.
And then she wakes up and sees how he kicked his bucket and says, "You know what? I'm gonna kick that too."
Yeah, I'm gonna kick this as well.
Buddy.
Yeah, I was really hoping that this would be a rare occasion where the gender roles didn't play out, but I really do think I've got to be Romeo and you've got to be Juliet. That's just kind of how this is going to go.
I'm digging the wings, the fits.
Yeah, I would love to wear a night outfit.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Bert and Ernie from Sesame.
They're too much the same.
They're literally identical.
They're the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. See, this is rough. Okay.
I think this is obvious to me.
I think it is too.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. C-3PO.
The first one we got that we don't agree on. That's so interesting. So here's my logic.
Yeah.
C-3PO is the upright, like kind of goofy, like, but also I don't know. When I think of the two of them, when I think between the two of us, who has the bigger, more thorough heart? I think we both do, but I think yours is more, and that's why I chose you for R2D2.
Oh, that's cute. That makes sense.
That's what made sense in my mind.
I was just thinking, like, I just talk so much. That was literally my only. I wasn't no heart, no like personality involved. I think it's literally just like he's just talking himself through everything. And R2 and C-3PO's
we both have a lot of each if you think about it though. Yeah. Because when I think of R2D2, he's like a puppy. And I just like want to put you in my pocket. So that's kind of the vibe.
Okay, cute.
Oh, well they're like identical. Mostly that's the point. Is they're twins, right? Like
Are they twins?
Oh, I don't know. I just thought there was like a chunky one and a skinny one.
Bro, I've never thought of them as twins before, but if they are, that's kind of mind-blowing.
Wait,
Look at them. They
look identical.
They're literally actually identical.
We're talking about Mario and Luigi. Are they twins?
Look at them.
Wait, this isn't even like which one of us is which. Are they twins? Like, wait, this is a bigger philosophical question.
Bro, they're twins.
One time for Halloween, I was a Luigi board. So I dressed as Luigi, but my shirt was a Ouija board.
I'm gonna go as a Mario next year, and I'm gonna be I'm gonna be Mario, but it's gonna be I'm an Oreo.
Well, that implies that one of us is literally a side. So we're the next one we've confronted is Batman and Robin.
Do you know what that reference is?
Is that
sidekick?
Is that SpongeBob? Is that the guy with the creepy?
You are a sidekick.
Oh, that's Sky High.
Sky High.
You know, what's that character? What's
Hero? I know, definitely. You are the middle piece.
We do a whole episode that's just you making references and I try to guess what they are.
Do you know what that one's from?
No, what is that?
Human Centipede. Now, I know, definitely, that you are the middle piece.
Now we're speaking my language.
Have you seen it?
Absolutely, I've seen it. And we're asking the boys that this afternoon. Human Centipede, 4 of us. Make it happen. What's it going to be? So our last famous duo. Greg and Fregley. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Wimpy child, and it's his diary. Oh, God. I remember seeing that movie in theaters. I haven't seen it in years. And I watched it last night. Certainly haven't read the books in a long time. But I used to love those books.
Absolutely. I know.
Okay, I think I know too. Ready?
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Fregley.
Another one bites the dust.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We have a couple guests for you. All the way from different places. 2 of my friends who have decided that they would grace our podcast as our very first guests ever. And I'm like, this is like, it's an honor. We have the incredible duo, Grayson Russell and Zach Gordon, Greg Heffley and Fregley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It's going to be
Duo
really
of the
interesting.
century.
Let's get right into it.
That's the title of this shindig here.
We're called All Right Cute.
All right. Cute.
Yeah, this is your episode 14. Congratulations.
Episode 14.
Yeah.
I have listened to some of it. I just forgot. It was all right.
That makes me happy.
Cute.
Right.
Not a requirement. Not a requirement, but appreciate it.
All right, cute. Cool.
Welcome back
Whoa!
to the pod. There's
He's not
men.
abused.
Who are y'all? How did y'all get here?
I'm Grayson Russell, and I am from Talladega Nights.
Zachary Gordon, and I'm from American Pie.
Dang, that was good.
That was good.
Hey.
That was good.
And we are
Wow.
the Breaks. I'm filling in as a
Conquistador.
I'm the conquistador
Nice.
music lead singer of this
He
This
wears
Friday
that little
show?
helmet.
Yeah, I wear a little helmet. Basically, we're starting off this episode a little sassy, a little all over the place.
I'm into
Love a little
it.
sass.
Yeah.
I flew into Nashville
3
12
o'clock
hours
this morning.
ago
Cool.
at 3 o'clock, and then got 3 hours
It's a
of
late
sleep.
flight, which is trending right now.
Which is the trend of the
And-
day.
It is the
I'm-
trend.
At least I'm safe. That's all that matters.
Yes,
Yes, you
Absolutely.
are. That's
And
all
I'm
we care about.
With some of my favorite people ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Cute.
making new friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, he meant me. He meant me when
Yeah.
he said he hates y'all.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
told me
yeah.
he hates
yes,
y'all.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for having Grayson and I.
Dude.
Oh,
Completely.
absolutely, guys.
Completely.
This
is cool.
so precious.
We never had guests before. Y'all
Yeah.
been
Our
asking.
first official
buddy.
guest on All Right
Wow.
Cute podcast.
Wow.
Right.
Now, all jokes aside, these two guys have quite a few nicks in their belt. We're just super excited that they're in town, and we know that y'all are hot tea. Hot off the press.
Hot tea.
Info that everyone has mentally
I
wanted
didn't
to know that
tea
probably,
comes off a press.
you know, it comes off a lot of different ways,
Straight out
you
that
know?
kettle, cuz.
We French
Yep.
press our tea down here.
When I print my tea. y'all are
yeah.
Well,
Ask
this
Lady
is the place to
Whistledown.
be too. All right, cute it's
Yes.
the
Oh, we
hottest
have-
tea spot in.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
that's the
And
goal.
You don't even want to know
We've
how
gotta
many
set
followers we
ourselves
have.
up.
It's crazy. We
It's
are.
intimidating.
We have a loyal fan base, which
Yeah.
we actually really do. we
yeah.
we literally
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Friends of the podcast.
Friends of the show. I love saying that about like literally anything.
Yeah.
yeah.
Friends of the show.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car, friends of the show.
Yeah.
These gentlemen are friends of Miss Abby and now friends of me as well.
Yes.
And yeah, they have their hands in all sorts of areas of entertainment.
Yes.
So we are literally just here. First and foremost, we would like to promote all the cool stuff they're doing.
Yes.
And then we're
We're
just
gonna ask
gonna
them the pressing questions
Right.
that everyone wants to
right.
know.
So we're gonna really get into it because this is press, and we are
We are
legitimate
the
members
press.
of media.
We
so
are capital T.
I literally
the
own
press.
CNN, so that's
Capital T.
crazy. What do we know y'all from?
Can we hear the day y'all first met? Can we hear y'all's
shoot.
meet cute?
Yeah, do you remember? I remember. I don't know if y'all remember.
Was it
You remember.
when we were? I have a memory in my head, but I don't
It was
remember
in
it
wardrobe.
probably.
I was getting wardrobe fitting, and you came in. You and Rob came in with tour.
Say full names, please.
Robert Capron. Raleigh
Basically,
Jefferson.
we'll cut to the chase. Grayson and I met on a project called Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
What
We're
were you
both
doing?
lads.
What were you doing on that?
I was in charge of costumes. and all the wrestling outfits that you saw in the movie.
Yeah,
They're
Nice.
yeah, the tightest.
the scantily clad.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was all Zach's 12-year-old work.
yeah. 11-year-old. Hey.
And then while you were doing
You
that, I
started
think they were
young.
like, you know what, you may as well just like play the lead because I think you
Yeah.
already know
Yeah,
what
you
everyone's
got
gonna
it,
wear.
yeah.
You
We
can just
need
kind of
like a
fix it on the
kid,
spot.
yeah.
And I saw his audition tape and I was like, we're gonna
That's
make this
the
kid
one.
a star. No, I think I wonder who got cast first.
You did.
You think so?
Yeah, you 100%.
I feel like Robert got cast before anyone. I think Robert who plays Riley. He was the best friend in the film.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he was the only one they kept calling back to read with other people, but they never told him he had the
Because I
role.
read for you and didn't
That's
get
so
it.
funny.
And then they made me read for Fregley and
Dang.
didn't get it.
Wow, man, whoever got Fregley, dude,
Yeah,
screw that
somebody
guy.
got Fregley. Start with.
What happened? They just went. Eh.
Yeah, they just, now I knew that like I got pretty far up in it. They're like, no, we decided to go a different direction. It's like okay, but
Whoever they
then-
cast did a great
Yeah,
job.
yeah, he did just fine.
But how do we meet?
My recollection is usually whenever like the first thing you do when you get like called to a production is a wardrobe fitting, and I was in there and I had on for whatever reason, like I really like taking all of Fregley's clothes and taking the pants and like pulling them up to my armpits. And
Very
like,
Fregley of
I
you.
like walk around in the.
I'm sure
in the
wardrobe loved that.
Yeah, in the
Fregley
production
fashion.
office. And we had a lady. I got Monique. I don't remember her last name. She had won a bunch of stuff for. She was our costume designer, and yeah, I was just trying on stuff, and you and Rob came in, and Tor was escorting y'all in.
Tor the director.
Tor the director, yeah.
Cool.
Tor Freudenthal.
Yeah, okay. I can never pronounce it right. And
Come on, names.
yeah,
Nice.
sorry.
Memory.
And no, it was just funny because I remember I looked at y'all and I was like, "What's your name?"
Right.
And what's your name? And he was like, "That's freaking weird. We're gonna have to use that." And I was like, "Well, dang, dude, I was just trying to."
They said that was
stay
weird,
focused.
and it was just a natural.
Yeah. I was like, "I was perfect for regular."
Man, what an ego boost!
Yeah. It was good.
Truly,
He was
yeah.
like, "We'll have to use that." I was like,
Like, wow, that was incredible.
You were like, "Am I cast?
Yeah.
Like, can
yeah,
I please
that's
have a
the first time.
job?"
That's all. I don't remember like anything we said.
Do you remember the essence of how you felt about each other?
Well, I was excited. I mean,
Yeah.
it was the first
Did
thing.
you like each other or no?
Yeah.
Because we're
I
in
don't think
the movie, let's recall, you hate him in the movie. He's so weird and so annoying, and then
Hate's
you try
a
to be
strong word. I
okay.
think
You're
I'm
weirded
just-
out by him.
Yes.
You're weirded out by him, and he's gross and creepy, and
Yeah,
you're
I'm
creeped
Grayson.
out by
Yeah,
him.
I'm Grayson. Yeah.
Did you feel the same in real life or no?
Definitely not. I'd say.
Pressing questions here.
In the present day, Grayson's one of the coolest, kindest, and most talented people I have ever met.
Period.
And
Middle school Grayson?
in my life.
Middle
I
school
mean,
Grayson
even
was
middle
rough.
school Grayson, like.
Yeah.
Grayson was
But
rough.
young Grayson.
Like a little old lady.
He
said I
does
was
sound
like
like
an
a
old
little
man,
old grandpa.
Yeah, I still am a grandpa.
Yeah, you are.
I think Grayson
I am too.
actually. I remember thinking that Grayson was the furthest thing from his role because when he wasn't on screen, he had a southern accent.
Right.
He was talking about like making music and shooting guns or something. That we were all just blown away. We were like, we actually thought. I remember that Robert and we all thought Grayson was like one of the coolest people we'd ever met.
That's
He's
sweet.
just
I
like.
didn't know that.
That's cute.
You held like a weapon. Like, I never saw you as Fregley. Like I really like we were doing
Praise the
scenes
Lord.
and it never registered that you were weird or creeped
Right,
out. And
right.
anything I did on screen was just like was all a blur. Like we were all
Sure.
just hanging. Like
Yeah.
we would do the scenes. And I remember hanging out more than actually filming the
Yeah, oh,
scenes. Like,
totally.
Scene was just like going to work.
I was
and
gonna say, that's
then,
the work
we'd all
part.
just hang out and get dinner and then talk. And you and Robert would talk about Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
like,
Rings, Red Dead
online.
Redemption.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption too.
That's cute. Because I wonder from in my mind, it's like, what is it like being literally 11 years old on like a blockbuster movie set? Like here's your friends. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you kind of like
Well,
are forced together.
I mean, it's probably one of the cooler things I've ever been a part of because it was the first thing that, and I don't really know how you were on it, but we more or less knew that there were going to be at least one sequel attached to it. We didn't know like one or how many. So it was the first
Cool.
time like, okay, this could be a trilogy. Really didn't know. We knew it was going to be more than just like
You knew there were more
months.
books.
Yeah.
Cool.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
So we weren't because normally like you hop on film, everybody gets attached really quick, and then you just all get like torn apart and like go back your separate
Gotcha.
separate ways.
I haven't thought about these things
Yeah,
in
but-
literally for almost a decade.
Yeah.
That's
You're asking
cute.
me.
That's
It's weird
cute.
the things that are being.
Yeah.
I like to just dig up the dirt and see how the dust settles.
Yeah.
But it was sweet though, because like looking back at
You're
it,
so-
because we filmed
He's like,
like August, October for the better part of 3 years in Vancouver, British Columbia, and we're all other than Lane and Devin, so Patty Farrell and Roderick, we're all American, and so we had never really worked out. Had you worked out in the country before? I mean,
No.
not that
Actually,
Vancouver's
you know what I
that different.
I'd done a movie a year before. Shout out, to Ryan Johnson, who does all the Knives Out, Glass Onion
Okay,
movies
there
now.
you go. Yeah,
Literally one of his
That's
first
awesome.
movies is called The Brothers Bloom, and we filmed it in
yeah,
Serbia.
yeah.
Serbia?
Yeah.
So that's wild.
I thought
I
he was gonna be
love
like, I
those
thought you were gonna be like Nova Scotia or something
Yeah,
like on
no.
this
Ooh,
continent,
Serbia.
and you said Serbia. You
Yeah.
said, yeah, we went to Russia.
You know, it's so funny. You were even
You know,
talking
Saudi
about
Arabia?
this. And close.
no, I know, I'm very directionally
I
challenged.
would love to go to Saudi Arabia.
Same.
It's so surreal when you talk about your experience. I never thought it would end, and I never thought it. The word isn't mattered. I just couldn't understand the gravity of what we were actually doing.
none of
I
us
don't
did.
think any of
I
us
don't think
did.
we're capable of.
I don't
Totally.
even know if it really was. Was it that big of a deal when we were doing it? Like I don't remember it being that big of a deal.
Right.
It was the coolest, I think, as far as like figuring out, oh crap, this might really be something. Was we were filming the third one.
When you saw the first Macy's Day Parade
No,
floating?
well, no, because
That's when I knew.
We knew that was big, but I mean
Right.
that was the books, and the books were huge already. So
Totally.
that was
But
kind of like this weird.
that's
Totally.
enough said though.
Kinda.
The books being
Yeah.
that like you can't have the phenomenon of a book and then they make a movie adaptation and you can't not expect it
Yeah.
to have because those people are hopping over. Same way with like Twilight or with any other book that was Divergent, The Hunger Games, all of those. Like the expectation was set because the books were so high.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that y'all were just small, and because too you're in middle school and you don't read like an adult reads really in middle school. Some of us do, I did, but majority don't, and it's
And
like
it
let's read the
shows.
fun ones. Well, thank you. Well, thank you. No, but I just think that like this book was so digestible for kids.
Like people would eat
People,
the books.
yeah, like it was easy to eat. It was easy to read and just interpret. There were stick figures still. You could put two and two together. My sister, who is dyslexic, could read the book because she could put two and two together based on the pictures, and she would
that's
make
really
out.
cool.
She would
That
make
is
out
really
some
cool.
parts of the words.
There you go, Jeff.
And then when she would watch the
Jeff.
movie, she would be like, "Oh, I was a little off, but like, okay." Do you know what I mean? So it really is like it was a wave.
Yeah.
A wave of its own.
The
yeah.
first two movies, I feel like I didn't really have a grasp on how big it was. But when we were doing the third one, all the Sweet Life guys, you remember that they were filming. They were in our hotel. So like when we were in Vancouver, if anybody was filming in Vancouver, y'all stayed in the same hotel. So we had like
Yeah.
Charlie St. Cloud and Twilight and all kinds of movies going on all at the same time, which is cool. But I remember all the Sweet Life guys were like excited to meet us and knew who we were.
That's
and,
cool.
And so, of course,
Zach,
the
you don't
first two
remember
had-
that?
The first two had
You didn't
come
have
out.
the Sprouse twins trying to be your BFF? You wanted to be a third Sprouse?
I don't remember seeing them. I remember seeing that the girl who's on it, Debbie Ryan, but because she did the show with Peyton and Karin, that Disney show.
Yeah.
I
Jesse,
actually remember. I went back like 5,
filling
6
in the
years
blanks.
later to do a show for Freeform. It was called Dead of Summer. It went one season, but while we were filming that, they were doing like the first season of Riverdale, and so we would all just like hang out and like. So I saw the Sweet Life Cole around then, but it was just interesting because. Just to put in perspective, like we were all just filming shows, like whether it was Wimpy Kid, I did. There were a million other projects that were huge being filmed at the same time. I did a TV show, and other TV shows were being filmed, and like a show like Riverdale wasn't even Riverdale. It wasn't even done filming. It was
Yeah.
like everyone's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like,
let's see
this
what
is this
happens.
thing,
And, like,
right.
it's just crazy to think that like how on one hand we were that project on Wimpy Kid that
Yeah.
like went off and took on a life of its own, and then later in life I did a show that like didn't take off, but
Yeah.
the other show was like the one that, and so it's just like you never know what's gonna hit, and
Yeah.
at the same time like
That's
everyone's
fair.
just sort of hanging out doing their job. But that's the coolest thing about Vancouver is that hotel. It's called the Sutton Place Hotel.
Shout out to Colin. You were a bellhop back in the day. You're the man. Wherever you
Colin's one of the listeners.
Colin's watching this,
wherever
he's
you
like,
may,
yes!
wherever you may find yourself
Yeah.
in 2023. Hope you're doing well, Mr. Colin.
I kept in touch with him for a couple of years ago. I did. It was a couple of years ago.
We clip this and send it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Hey, Colin.
I called and
think
asked
they're in
for him
love
one time. They're
still.
like, dude,
And-
this dude does not work.
And this is the
anymore.
thing is for the viewers out there, it's like imagine you're a kid and you go to the same hotel every summer. It's like Sweet Life.
Truly.
And like you see the same people working there and you're going to film a movie. It's like you sort of make a
Yeah,
like
you have a
family,
relationship
you know,
with these
yeah.
people, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, you went to Serbia, so pardon me, but the rest of us had never really worked out of the country before, and so each other was kind of all you had.
Right.
Not that Vancouver's entirely different. Canada's entirely different from the States. But when you're spending 10, 12 hours together working anyway, and you're the only kids there, there's of course 6 or 7 of us. So the most part was, figuring out who you were going to get in the car with that morning to go to work, and then who you were going to eat with that night when you got back.
Yeah.
It's
Or
like
we'd all go
camp.
swimming.
It
or
is
something.
like
yeah,
camp.
Yeah, it really,
That's
it really
dope.
was. Yeah, and then even we were fortunate
so
enough.
much emotion.
Yeah,
Really,
I know.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
We were
So
fortunate
cute.
enough because it was the first time that I had to more or less experience having the same crew for multiple films.
Totally.
So you were tight with everybody. I mean, I got
Wow.
the tightest I was with was Donna Biss. She was the head of hair. Smoked like a freight train.
And you've got one.
She
Totally.
made her own. She
head of
pickled
hair.
her own pickles. So she
Come
kept
on.
it in a big jar up under the sink where she'd fix my hair in the morning, and so Mom would get on to me because I'd sneak in there like 4 times a day and just grab me just this massive pickle, come sneaking out of the door.
Totally.
Wow.
I remember those growing up.
But-
Those massive pickles.
Yeah, big Vlasic jokers.
Why did we ever like who needs a pickle that big?
We did.
I did.
Yeah.
I needed many of them.
Yeah, many
Fair
of
enough.
them.
4 times a day getting your fix.
Well, now that years of so y'all did the show movie. It wasn't a show. You did the movies plural.
Yeah.
And then after that last Wimpy Kid,
Yeah.
y'all parted ways. How many years went by before y'all
Great question.
reconnected again? And what inspired the reconnection?
You know, I would say it was probably COVID.
Yeah.
I think that Grayson and I started talking a bit more, and so did Robert and I, who plays Riley. And
Yeah, how do y'all fare as well? All
I
of
think
y'all.
we're all. I still write scripts with Robert. Like I try to every week or every other week. So
That's awesome.
we have we have a
Wow.
couple of ideas that are really fun, and I hope we get them off the ground. It's just we're both
Yeah.
so busy with so many things, and
Yeah.
obviously this guy
You're
too.
here for the pod, you know. Riley's got another pod over there
yeah.
doing his thing, Robert. But that's crazy.
Me and Rob kept into which I talked to him about as much as I talked to you. So
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 hours a month, probably, if I had to guess. But me and Rob both got PlayStation 3s coming off the first Wimpy Kid. And so he lived in Rhode Island, and I was in Alabama. And so we would play like 2 or 3 times a week. We'd get on like Black Ops and play.
Yeah.
Nice.
But we convinced him to get a PlayStation, and Devin to get a PlayStation, and Steve Zahn, Zach's dad in the film, to get a PlayStation. And there was 1 or 2 times where, in 2012, you could hop on Black Ops 1 on PlayStation and be playing with it like
The whole
Yeah.
cast.
Oh
of
my
players.
cast
gosh.
entire Wimpy
Yeah,
Kid.
one of us.
That's insane.
And Steve's name was I Like Corn a Lot.
Yeah.
That was his name.
That's so fun. The
'Cause he
original
was-
Corn Kid.
Yeah, yeah.
When you look back on those days, is it incredibly fond? Like,
Oh,
are you just like,
100%.
oh man,
Yeah,
like you don't
100%.
realize what? Again, childhood stars, which we're sitting here with 2 of them. There's a lot that goes into like the work as a child, but
Yeah.
there's also an enjoyment that you would expect because you're on such a fun project. Did you actually enjoy it, or was it like, were you one of those like slave away kids?
Well, you had a way bigger role than I did, though. So, yeah, that could be 2 entirely different things because you were working your tail off.
Listen,
And not
Did
that
you
the
have
rest
a
of us
That's a
didn't.
childhood?
good point.
I did. I was very fortunate
I
to get a
know,
childhood.
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I graduated high school with the kids I went to preschool with, so
Wow.
which is very fortunate. So I don't really know how you kind of fared on that end. It turned out good.
Thank you.
Turned out
You
all
did.
right.
You're great.
You know, I've never really genuinely sat down and processed all of this stuff, and I'm thinking in this moment, like, I wonder why that is, and I don't know if, because I obviously loved it. It's a huge part of my life, and I'm very proud of it and beyond grateful, but I know that for a long time I wasn't, and like, it had nothing to do with the opportunity itself. It's that even the fact that I don't remember a lot of these things is actually making me realize that I clearly tried to,
Just get it over with.
yeah, and I think it had a lot to do with, after the films, I tried to go to public school to what my parents wanted me to go, and God bless them, because they just wanted me to turn out normal, which unfortunately I found out later in life was just
There's no such
is
thing.
never gonna happen, just
Yeah.
because of.
For a select few of us.
And well, I just mean in the sense that, you know what no one really talks about, and as I've gotten older, I've started to really think about it more. Everyone always talks about, like, you become an actor and you talk about the money, the fame, the people you meet, Los Angeles, whatever, and it's pretty simple. And in a lot of ways, that's sort of what it is, and that's what people try to attain, and they do attain it often, but no one ever talks about what you give up. Someone had asked me, like, what advice would you give parents having kids? And I was like, you know what advice I'd say? I'd say, first off, make sure it's their dream, not
Yeah.
yours. And
Yeah.
the second thing I'd say is you need to think about what you're actually giving up. Because one thing that I feel like, not that I don't remember Wimpy Kid for this reason. If I sat down, I could really walk through it all. I really could. But I think I tried to fit in for so long. Like, I literally spent my entire youth just trying to fit in and
Yeah.
blend in. And, like, even a lot of times now I feel like I overcompensate because I want to blend in. But, like, not so much blend in, more so connect on a
Yeah.
level that I feel like I never got to. And not because
Yeah.
people can't connect.
No,
It's
right.
just, they see you as
Or
Like if
there's,
Daniel
like,
Radcliffe was in here, I'd be like,
commonalities,
it's
right.
freaking Daniel
Totally.
Radcliffe.
Yeah,
Totally,
but when
dude.
you don't
Yeah.
have common ground with other people, then that's, as a kid especially, it's hard to like find some sort of topic to discuss or something to like find other than like your work, because that's what you're there for. I think a lot of times like kids who have different childhood experiences, like granted, even for you went to school and you had all these like normal kid experiences, like for you to be able to like, I don't know if it earlier on at that point you hadn't gone and done that yet, but like if you hadn't and were in a room with a kid who just like knows what it's like to be in school and do recess and learning how to be a social kid, and not just interacting with adults all day long and like other kids are actually around him every day all the time. It really does create some sort of like invisible maze to kind of like get to each other a little bit. It makes it harder for you to connect.
Yeah, well, when you spend, I guess, the majority of your childhood, doing things that are weighted so much differently than normal childhood activities.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like it's hard for baseball to mean as much.
Your your whole childhood is a negotiation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
You know
that's the
what I'm
thing
saying?
too, is like then it's hard to like,
You're only there because that's what everyone else agreed
yeah.
on.
Yeah, well, it's just it makes it a little difficult to just relate to everybody, and not in like some weird kind of sob story way.
Right.
But then you I guess sometimes come across sideways when you really don't even mean to.
Right.
When it's hard to like, okay, yeah, cool, we got a football game Friday night that we're going to because we're playing whoever, but then it's like, oh no, I got to shoot an audition. Or not even that, because that's
Something that
something
pulls you away,
but,
that's not
but it's
typical.
like this is the rest of my life, and no, you can't play ball because if you get hurt, then
Yeah.
you can't work.
Right.
And-
Totally.
If you break your foot or break your face, you're done. We're not doing that. You're
Yeah,
limited.
That's so real.
Yeah.
I can't think of how many things in my life I didn't do because it was always
You
the
can't.
risk of breaking
Yeah,
a
risk
bone
of
or
hurting
getting hurt or in trouble.
Mom used to be terrified because I loved to inner tube, like at the lake.
Didn't we all?
I literally, if someone said, let's go snowboarding next weekend,
Oh, and I'd wrap myself around a tree.
my first thought in my
I know
brain
my
is,
limits.
well, if I get hurt, it's like
It's
crazy the
instilled
things
a
you
fear
carry.
in
I literally, it's like I'm afraid of a lot of things. That's what I'm saying is when I meant that people
Wow.
don't talk about the consequences, like
Totally.
you don't realize, like I'm only now starting to deal with these things, but like people take photos, people take pictures,
Yes.
people talk about you. You can't
Yeah.
control any of that, like
Yeah.
people like. I don't know why I tell people. I
People-
don't mean that. I was
That's
just
okay.
pulling
You can
stuff
say
out of
that.
thin
You're
air.
good. You say that all the
it's just
time.
like I don't remember a time where I wasn't always conscious of
Yeah,
of
that's hard.
everyone else in
Yeah.
the room. I am always, whenever I walk in a room, I'm
Hyper
always
aware.
hyper aware of is there cameras or how am I carrying myself?
That's so
draining.
fascinating.
It is, but like you actually get used to it. Like
Right.
Well,
how
yeah,
else-
it's second
yeah.
nature
yeah.
at that point. If you've been doing it
I mean,
since
not
you were a
here,
kid.
Yeah,
not
right,
like
this
Right,
is
you're like, there are
different,
two cameras going on.
Yeah.
There's literally two cameras on him.
No, I know.
How old are you guys? I'm sorry to interrupt
I'm
you.
20. We're on a podcast. So I'm 24. I'm 25 in less than 3 weeks. So.
Cool.
But what day is your
25.
birthday?
February 15th. Yeah, the day after Valentine's
Close,
Day.
yeah.
Dang.
Also, that's Grace's birthday. Say happy birthday, Grace.
Happy birthday, Grace.
How old are you?
24. I'll be 25 in May.
In May. You know
Yeah.
what's so fascinating is like I'm from Alabama and I was born and raised in Tuscaloosa and like was hyper aware of like Hollywood and whatnot as a kid and like thought I would be in like the
As
music
most
space.
normal kids were, yeah.
And hearing like hearing y'all's side of this and hearing like both the good and the bad, but especially what y'all said about how you weren't even aware at the age of, because how aware can you be at 11
Yeah.
years old
Yeah.
of the magnitude of what you're doing, of
Right.
the way you're going to impact lives.
Well, because
with-
you're not seeing the fans in that moment. You're
Totally.
seeing your crew and the cast and the cameras,
Totally.
and that is it.
And the way that like
A closed
as
set.
we age,
yeah.
I really, and I've been saying this for like years now, there's some sort of like physical but also emotional like second puberty that I think all of us go through in our 20s where we like start to develop more into the person that we are, and like
It's probably our frontal lobe fully forming.
very
That's
much
probably
that.
what it
Very
is.
much that, yeah.
Yeah.
And so like having, I don't know, being able to reflect on stuff and like it's just so wild to like, especially to see you processing this for the first time. This
Yeah.
is like, I feel almost bad like releasing this.
I-
I just love the idea of like that at the time, obviously there was aspects of it that it was a job, but at the time it was like just kind of its own camp thing too. Like you just made friends and y'all have clearly got this amazing lasting connection.
One thing you said that really resonated with me is it wasn't the filming process that sobered me up to the real world. It was the real world itself. It's like
Totally.
the filming was fun. It was our hanging out that was so fun. Then it was like, oh, now we're off in the world, and like what we did wasn't normal, and people treat you differently for it.
Completely.
So that's
Yes.
what. And then you sort of go, wait. Then if people are sort of making me feel this way, then like I should feel this way about
Other
you know,
people.
And also the thing that I did that I originally liked. It's almost like, let's just say you ask someone out and like you feel good, like, oh, my hair looks good. I got a haircut. I got a great new shirt, and someone's like, yeah, like I don't know about that shirt, and now you're sort of like, whoa, like, well, now you can never wear that shirt again.
Totally.
Yeah.
Even though like
Dude,
this shirt could be
Yeah.
incredible and it has nothing to do with you, it's like this weird.
That
That was a
Columbia
weird
shirt.
example. But
No,
Or it's like, and it
Wow.
makes sense too in the same sense of like, there's when it's an occupation. The job that you guys had, even as a child, in that you have now, it's still a job, but the world does not view it as a job.
Yeah.
If you were a doctor who performed a successful surgery, it was like, oh, I performed this brain surgery, it went perfect. On to the next patient. But if like no one except the people in your little hospital know, like it's like, good job, bud. That was great work. Awesome, move along. I loved doing brain surgery. But if the whole entire world, the second you left the hospital, that brain surgery you did was like so everything. And like, can I get a picture with
Right.
you?
Are you an actress?
How the way that we react to actors in that way, just because of the way that it's presented to the world as this like glorified, glamorized bubble of a thing that's impenetrable and no one can get in, and it's super high, like niche and super, exclusive, unobtainable. It just doesn't create a healthy environment for not only other kids to see themselves doing it, or to understand what that means when it comes to like when I wanted to be on Disney Channel as a kid, I had no idea what that meant for myself
Right.
as a kid.
That
I thought I
truly
just
meant-
got to be on a fun TV show playing make believe like I did at home that I've always wanted to do. But like on the flip side, let's say this is what you wanted to do and you are a part of it and you're actively doing it and you love it then, but then you turn around and you could be, especially in those formidable years, made to feel ashamed, made to feel confused after the fact. Like, people have opinions about something that you've actively enjoyed that can completely shut you down, and especially in those really fragile times as a child, we're supposed to be nurtured and fostered and taught to like manage your and regulate your own emotions and how to treat other people and what that even looks like. Like, you're thrown so far into the deep end, it's got to be like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like it's
I think
So fascinating to ponder.
yeah.
I don't know if this has kind of
Weird.
happened to you, but of course Alabama's different from LA. But it was just openly assumed that I'd never worked a day in my life. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm 24.
You mean, like, as a
and like,
kid,
I mean,
you're
just
walking
just
around
just
no
in
kids
general,
expecting
just
other kids
just
are
as a
working.
human, it's like, you didn't have to work for anything happening. It's like, no.
Oh, I
see what
you're
work.
saying.
Yeah, I mean, just in general,
Okay.
everybody just kind of assumes everything's
I
been
see.
handed to you.
Because you had a successful
Yeah,
project.
just because you had a
Right.
successful project.
I get that
and they
too.
don't really
Yeah.
like you said, they don't really consider it to be a job. Now, don't get me wrong. I have rarely ever worked
Because you enjoy
on
your
film
job.
because I
Right,
do love
yes.
it.
Right.
But also, when you're
Clarify.
12 years old and you've got $500,000 riding on you getting something right in the next 15 minutes, it's going to outlive everyone in that room.
And it's
Yeah.
not just intimidating to other kids who maybe are inspired by what you're doing and want to do that too, but that creates a sense of jealousy. But you also are holding weight over adults.
Yeah,
You are a whole child who just made bank.
yeah.
If
More
you're
bank
lucky.
things.
If you're lucky,
more
yeah,
bank
A
you're
lot
things.
of times you don't make bank because
Right.
like
Interesting.
But there's
the
but
bank
that's an
makes
op-
the bank.
Yeah,
Right,
the bank
right.
True.
We get the opportunity to
Yeah.
have
Story
fun.
checks
Death,
out.
Right,
Yeah.
but like
Death and
that's
taxes,
why,
Canadian, you federal.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get
I
what
looked
I
up and got
mean.
LA. You
Yeah.
got or Alabama. You got
Yeah.
LA, so you got the raw end of that deal.
But see, that's even
But-
why these parents start getting green-eyed and hungry for their kids. They start feeding their kids out, hoping that like they're gonna pay their bills.
Yeah, well-
because if your parents weren't great parents and wanted to take your money and use it for their own benefit or gain, they totally could have.
Well, it's something when you
Legally,
have like a,
technically not, but actually they could have. That's what most people do.
yeah.
A lot of parents do that.
It was strange because I remember when I was doing Talladega Nights, like 7, and it was funny because like I have the best parents in the world,
Yeah, there's
because like
super
Mom didn't
sweet.
have to ask me, but I remember her being like, "Is it okay if you make a house payment this week?" And while I was filming in Charlotte or something along those lines. And that was just wild because I have like very hardworking parents. Like they're doing their thing, but obviously Mom had to give up a lot of her work to come, and income to come help me. Even though she worked a lot on set, no different than we're doing school 3 to 5 hours a day, along with $15-20 million movie. But it is weird, like you're talking about that weight. Not that I felt like I had anything on my folks,
right?
But it is different. When you are dealing
as
with
a kid, you don't understand the why.
Yeah,
but that could be why adults treat those kids so weirdly.
Yeah.
Because there's a complex that the adults have that the kids don't even know. Like they're like, why are you treating me like that? Like the kids don't know what's in their bank account. They're not thinking about that.
And also, you got to make that little 8, 10, 12-year-old Joker happy because he can just ruin the 20 million you've spent, or
That's
she or
so true.
whoever
waste the day on a tantrum.
Yeah. If you had crapped out at some point, or Rob had
that's
crapped
a
out
full
at some
day.
point, or I mean just whatever. Like the biggest thing my dad's talked about it a lot, and it never really made sense to me. I did a McDonald's commercial when I was like 8, and they were fixing lunch for us or whatever, and I had told Dad that I'd really love like a fish sandwich from McDonald's, and he was like, "Shut up, you're gonna eat whatever they have," which is fine, and that's what I would have done. Like I wasn't making a demand by any means, and in the next 20 minutes, I had every version of they sent a PA to town like 20 miles like to the nearest McDonald's, and I had every version of whatever I wanted that day, with cheese, without cheese, whatever. And that's the environment that you grow up in. And then you're right, you walk into the real world and go, oh crap, that's a friggin' wake up call and a half, because now you don't have everybody waiting on your hand and foot.
Right.
Not that you got used to that or didn't, or whatever. Everybody navigates it differently. But you wonder why people go off the deep end, or you perceive people go off the deep end. It's like, well, you're treated like that for a reason, not just because you're lucky. And you are lucky to some extent. I mean, that's going to be all the good Lord anyway. But there is a certain level of skill that comes with it, and a lot of hard work.
Absolutely.
It's not digging ditches. Beats digging ditches, but also you don't have to think about digging ditches when you go to sleep at night. And wonder if,
totally.
Wonder how that's going to affect the rest of your livelihood, for the next, 30, 40 years.
Right. I think I would love a second
we need to
hang with y'all, but
y'all
this
have
is
some
intriguing.
interesting. Like I'm loving this conversation. Yeah, definitely.
We need to get in the crap we would do offset. Because we almost got kicked out of the hotel for throwing wet toilet paper balls 9 stories.
Now that's exactly what I expect about from a set of 11-year-old boys.
The ping pong table.
I love that.
Why do we get the pleasure of hanging and chatting with you guys today?
You want to kick that off?
Few things. Thanks to this guy. I've been traveling back and forth from LA to Nashville, also Cleveland, Tennessee. A lot of incredible musicians down there. Johnny, Bryson, shout out to Luke too as well. Caleb, Corvin. Man, are we gonna freaking shout all of them out?
That's all we got. We got 6.
Alex too. Terrence. Basically, I'm just really grateful that I have a friend like him, because I have a lot of dreams and aspirations in terms of music and bringing that vision to life, and he's allowed me to create in an environment where I have access to just wonderful people and musicians.
Yeah, Grayson's a musician, and you're getting into music, and he is so good, guys. They're both so good. Y'all are both really different. Y'all both sound so different, and your styles are so different. But I love that y'all are helping each other, and y'all are building each other up and are walking this road together. I think it's really precious. What's the latest? What's hot off the press for you when it comes to music? Got anything coming up?
Yes. My debut single comes out February 17th.
What?
It's called Time Bomb.
What? Cool.
And I'm really, really proud of it. I really spent about 10 months working on it, crafting it.
Yeah.
Along with a couple other songs. I'm out here finishing up 2 more.
That's right.
One I wrote last time I was here, actually over the summer in June or July, my first visit here.
Yeah.
And then went back in September or end of August to work on it more. Now we're going to finalize it. I have another track I'm going to record out here. So my hands are full, but
Yes.
I think in the best way possible. And yeah, so that my debut single's coming out in less than 3 weeks. It's really
That's
it's
around
surreal.
birthday time.
Oh my goodness! What
2
a
days
present!
after.
What a birthday present!
Yeah, I think if I ever allow myself to be proud of the things that I've spent so much time and money on,
Relatable.
and
Yes.
Relatable.
passion, and also just like acknowledge that it's really. It takes a lot of work to put out a song. It takes a lot of courage, and also, it's in a lot of ways it's scary. Not just from like the fact that people will or won't listen to it, but the thing about acting, and this is not to go on a side tangent, it'll come full circle. The
Yeah.
thing about acting is you get a script, you play a role, and you know exactly who you're playing. And someone tells you exactly where to stand, you get paid for it, and then you're done. You know, everything else is out of your hands. Music, you're the director, writer, producer, publicist, and then on top of that, like, if you don't treat it as an asset, something that you need to constantly water and take care of. Like this morning, for the people listening, like Abby was kind enough to come out to Johnny Cash's
You're
farm
crazy.
with Grayson and I. We wanted to record a couple
I got
of videos.
to accompany them.
Thank you. But, just to record some stuff to put up online and social media. And that's a big shift that's been different for me because I've always avoided social media. Not avoided. I like it for a lot of reasons and connecting with people and especially fans and stuff. It's been amazing. But I think it's always scary to, going back to what we were talking about earlier, being afraid of whether you get something broken on a trip or saying
Right.
the wrong thing or being caught, with a beer can in your hand,
Yeah.
that was a real fear for a long time.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So I didn't drink for the longest time.
Yeah.
But that being said,
Wow.
I still don't really drink. And that's actually
That's
that's
fair.
literally the first line of my song, I don't drink when I go out.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but
You don't drink when you go in.
Yeah. Well, you know me, 11-year-old me just went hard.
Yeah, I'm sure
right,
you did.
right.
Candy was my drink of choice.
Oh,
But basically,
same.
This dude is a fiend.
yeah.
I'm the same.
I was about 10 minutes before the podcast, I was going through Abby's pantry looking for any sort of gummy candy, Skittles.
Yeah,
you
there,
know,
I, think
chocolate.
Kinda guy.
I typically have them, but I'm telling you, 3 days before he arrived, I absolutely devoured everything.
And you're better for it.
I'm
you know?
in due time for a restock, so that might happen tonight.
Well,
And we'll-
if we're going to the
Fill you
movies,
back
I'm
up.
actually going to get candy.
That's what I'm-
like
yeah.
I am. Like that's what I told
Jeez.
myself. I was like, okay.
Jesus.
Yep, Jesus.
Praise him.
Anyway, long story short, I'm very excited, and I
Yes.
think if I can allow myself to be, like I was saying, just present and grateful and enjoying the process. I think I'll be a happy camper. So that's.
Yes.
But I am really proud of what I've worked on, and I bear my soul on this record that's coming out, and the other ones we're working on, and I've always been that person where the only way through it is really by feeling it, expressing it, and thankfully not, doing things that I know don't add value or move me forward in my life, such as, we've all got our vices. Mine's candy, but, like drugs, alcohol,
Right.
casual
Yeah.
relationships. I think that to each their own, and definitely no judgment, that's for sure. I just thank God that when I went through the heartbreak that most of my songs are recently about, I should say in the last year, they're changing, as time goes on, you move on. But the music had a lot to do with that too.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think, thank God I had an outlet that I could, even though it didn't feel comfortable and it didn't feel like I was moving, I was. And,
Yeah.
and I'm just so glad I stuck with it. And
Yeah.
now I'm going to share it with the world. And
Yes.
the fact that someone could actually listen to that song that I wrote and created and took the things that I went through and actually said, I'm going to put this out in the world and let people say this sucks or it's great or,
Totally.
I'm going to listen and what's next. And like, I think I can't wait in a year from now to look back because I'm still processing that,
Yeah.
So I know I'm just going through the motions.
Yeah.
That's really what I've been doing with Grayson
Yeah.
and like that. I'm just going to keep doing that.
Yes.
And I think
Wow.
when I look back, I know I'm going to be proud, even though
for sure.
I am a tough critic and I'm very hard, but I am very proud of the work that I'm doing. And, it's just, life is just so
Yes.
much of an up and down. I heard an interview recently, about an actor talking about how like life is like a heart monitor. How come life is like I feel like it's always like a up and down. I feel so much, and then I feel like worthless. And the therapist had said something like, well, life is like a heart monitor. You know, like you know what happens. You go up, you go down, and when you flatline, then
It's done.
You're dead. So.
Wow.
And I really, I take that to heart literally just
Yeah.
because I feel very deeply, and I think sometimes it feels like a curse, but I guess without that, I wouldn't be doing what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing, because I'm not even like consciously thinking about all the music I'm making. I'm just doing it, if that makes sense.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
I'm just here. Like, I didn't go, I need to be here. Like, I just
Right.
I'm just here because
This is what you gotta do.
something like has just made me here, and like, it's weird how that happens, you know?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that if your music, which I have heard some of his songs, and I can speak for the majority of the people in their future thoughts, the way that you present yourself, even here on this podcast, the way you speak about yourself, the way you express your thoughts, from an audience perspective, if you have an ounce of that in any of your songs, it's gonna be great.
Absolutely.
And it does. And it is.
Beautifully
and you
said.
are
Beautifully said.
so in tune with yourself and your awareness, and
There
it
you go.
is
Start
what
sobbing.
that's why people listen to music. That's why people listen, is because they want, some people don't have
Absolutely.
the words for what they feel.
Yeah.
And you have those words, and you're helping other people to understand their feelings.
Come on,
and while
slam poetry.
while you're understanding your own feelings, and you're processing, and you're using this as like a therapy to like process, which is healthy, and you're going about this whole entire, I was there for like the early days of this like whole shebang, and it has just been so cool to watch and to see, because it really is it's a journey that you're gonna look back on and say, wow.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Both
It's
of you
awesome.
guys are
It's
so
cool.
there's
Yeah.
there's something with both of y'all that's like very soulful, very I don't know, there's just the essence of kindness with both of y'all, which is like such a, it's not that it's rare to see, it's like I feel like it's harder to see people protect it these days.
It's not rare
and
to
y'all
see.
don't, and
It's
I like
rare
that.
when it's this authentic.
And like
Yeah.
so cool to talk to you guys and to have y'all as our first guest. It just feels like
Yes.
special because it already feels like kind of family with y'all.
Absolutely.
So this is really great. I'm appreciative, and I
Yeah.
So of course our last question is, if we were a human centipede, what would the order be?
Yeah.
Tag me at the end, I'll live.
He said I'm just happy to be here.
My selfish, like I'm like, don't put me in the back, and Grayson would.
Right.
take one
Grayson
for
would take
team.
the back.
He would.
Absolutely.
But also, I would totally eat myself alive if I really did, like, take the front. Like, I'd actually be like, I'd be like, wow, I'm a horrible person. I should have never done this. And
Yeah.
the guilt would I'd probably die faster being in front than I would in the middle.
Yeah,
I'd,
so-
I'd
From
die
the
in
Kill
both,
all of us.
but,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
both scenarios.
We wouldn't be able
but
to eat very long after you went out.
I'll tell you what, I mean,
So.
I love candy, so
It's all of his poop is just sour Skittles. We're just
hoping
eating.
everyone has a sweet tooth. And by the time it gets to Grayson, there won't be any sweetness
It's just
left.
awful.
This is not going
tastes
in,
like
right?
it.
I love that.
It's going down.
Thanks for watching.
Oh my gosh,
Y'all have
what
at
a
it.
treat.
Oh my
What
God,
a treat.
As
seriously.
Grayson says, y'all have at it.
Y'all
have at it.
Period.